Diana has written in saying, I feel like I've made a good decision to homeschool my children this fall, but my family is questioning me. How can I reassure them?
That's a good point, and a lot of homeschoolers get that kind of pushback from their family. I think that you really need to know why you've decided to do this, and maybe even write out your reasons so that when you talk to your family about why you're homeschooling this semester or this year, that you can take emotion out of it and you can just lay out, I've decided to homeschool this school year because I do not think that the school can adequately educate my kids during the pandemic, or I don't think that my kids will be safe, or I don't think that my kids' emotional and social needs will be met. You need to know why it is that you've decided so that you can tell your family. And it's really important that if you have a partner, you both present this information.
Right.
Because sometimes families will try to divide you, and they'll try to get you away from, your spouse. If you're a single parent and your family's questioning you, oh my goodness, you're just going to have to be really strong, and you're just going to have to know exactly why you're doing it. And I know that when we started homeschooling, and of course it was in a different time and a different situation, my mother-in-law said to me, oh, will you have books? And we thought that was so funny. But what we really found out was that she just didn't understand how this was going to happen. So we shared a lot of our resources that we were going to use with her. We brought, back then, of course, it was a homeschooling magazine. Now everything's online. But we brought a homeschooling magazine to show her. We showed her the books the kids were going to be using. We even invited them over for what we called an open house, where the kids could show their work and they could maybe recite a poem they had learned, make a little snack. And what happened is, over the years, my in-laws got very comfortable with homeschooling, so much to the point where they would, oh, can we take the kids on a trip? Because they knew, hey, we had flexibility to do that.
Very nice.
So I think, sometimes when our families are pushing against our decision to homeschool, it's because they don't really know what that means and how that's going to work, and they just need some reassurance. So
they do. And I imagine there may be some people, like their family might be supporting them, but their circle of friends might be making different choices. And that could be hard too. You've got peer pressure, so to speak. We're all going to do this. Why are you doing something different?
Right. And sometimes people feel condemned by your decision. Like they feel like, well, my decision wasn't good. And that's not at all what anybody needs to feel. Like, I totally support public schools. I think public schools are wonderful, and I'm glad they exist. And I think we all just have to have the opportunity to make a choice if we want to do public school, if we want to do private school, if we want to homeschool. All those educational choices are valid, and we don't need to be pitting ourselves against each other. We just need to support each other. So
we never know what health reasons people might have or what else is going on.
Yeah, we don't know.
Find a way to be supportive.
Yeah, and I think that's the key, is just have your reasons and be able to share them, and try to take emotion out of it, and just understand that it's out of concern, or sometimes it's just out of something that other person is feeling about their choices, why they're pushing back against your choices. But you can do it. I mean, everybody can homeschool if they want to.
If you have homeschooling questions, you can contact us on Twitter at _homeschoolpod, or email us at happyhomeschoolpod@gmail.com.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Holly.
I'm Melody.
Happy homeschooling! Hi, this is your host, Holly Williams Urbach. Thank you for listening to the Happy Homeschooler Podcast, a Transcript Maker Production. My co-host is Melody Gillum. This episode was produced by Matthew Bass and edited by Norah Williams. Our graphic design is by Pete Soloway, and our music is by the Great Pangolin. You can find her music on YouTube and Twitter at Kylie Wins. That's Kailey Wins. If you'd like to help our podcast grow, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. Or as always, tell people about us.